I grew up with my cousin. He's 8 years older than me, but we were always incredibly close. He was the one who taught me everything when I was younger, the one who always looked out for me. Our whole family admired him. He was the kind of person everyone looked up to, successful, kind, always there for you. To me, he was like a big brother, the one person I knew I could always trust. When I left for university, I thought it would be hard being away from home, but I came back every summer to visit my family, and every time I'd spend a lot of time with him. He was still that same person, supportive, caring, the one who had always been there. But things changed that summer. It was during a family vacation at this cozy summer house by the beach. It was supposed to be fun, a time for all of us to relax. One evening, I found myself alone with him. Everyone else had gone out for a walk, and I was just sitting in the living room reading a book. That's when it started. He sat next to me, closer than usual, and I didn't think much of it at first. But then he started talking to me in a way that felt off. His voice was different, lower, and his eyes, they weren't the same. At first, I thought it was a joke. Maybe he was just teasing me like he did when we were younger. But no, this felt different. His hand brushed against mine, and something in my gut told me it wasn't right. I tried to laugh it off, but my heart was racing. I stood up, trying to get away, but he followed me, saying it was just a joke, that I was overreacting. But it didn't feel like a joke. It felt wrong. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept racing, replaying what had happened. I didn't want to believe it. How could he, my cousin, the one I trusted more than anyone, do something like this? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized it wasn't the first time. It was the way he kept looking at me, the way he touched me. He didn't stop. The next few days were a blur. I tried to avoid him, but it wasn't easy. He was always there, lurking just around the corner, pretending nothing had happened. But I couldn't forget what I felt in that moment. It haunted me. And then, one night, it happened again. I was in my room, alone, when I heard a soft knock on the door. I froze, my heart stopping for a second. He came in without waiting for an answer. The door clicked shut behind him, and he locked it. That was the moment everything changed. I knew, deep down, that I couldn't trust him anymore. The person I thought I could always turn to, the one who had been like family, was someone I needed to fear. I didn't know what to do. I was trapped. My family would never believe me. They all adored him, and I was just the girl who had always looked up to him. I didn't want to tell anyone. I couldn't. Because what if no one believed me? What if this was my fault? I was so confused, so scared, and all I wanted was to escape, to get away from him, from everything. But I couldn't. He kept coming back, and I kept pretending everything was normal, even though I was breaking inside. It wasn't until that night when I saw him lock the door behind him that I realized there was no going back. My trust in him was shattered. The cousin I had once loved like a brother, the one I thought I knew, was gone, and I was left alone, with no one to turn to.